Thanks for doing this, man. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Mike.
I got 3 questions for you today. I want to keep it short because I know you're on your way out. But before we get into the question, if you just give a quick intro, kind of who you are, what you've been doing, and what are you doing right now?
Sure. I'm Andy Liu. I run a firm called Unlock Venture Partners. It's a venture capital firm where we invest in early stage startups in Seattle and in LA. Prior to that, I had 2 venture-backed startups that had sold to various firms, and have really enjoyed being a part of the entrepreneurial community.
Awesome. And entrepreneur community, you and I are both in EO, right?
Yes.
You're in Seattle, and I'm in Inland Empire, so shout out EO West is best. Ali loves this. So cool, man. So you Unlock Venture, you guys obviously invest in different companies. Now, what is it that you look for when you're investing in a company?
We look for quite a few things, but I'll highlight some of the most important things. I think one is we invest in people, and so the entrepreneurs are really, really important. And what we look for is an entrepreneur that is mission-driven. So there are a lot of entrepreneurs I think can be very successful by pursuing money, but ultimately it's very hard to build a business, as you can probably appreciate. And so we really want folks that have a bigger purpose for why they're building a company, because that's what helps entrepreneurs kind of make it through the thick and thin. If it's all about money, it's very, very difficult to make it through thick and thin because there's so many other opportunities to pursue. So number one, we really want a mission-driven entrepreneur. 2 is because we're a venture firm, we want to think about how big the opportunity is. So if the entrepreneur is successful, is it a big opportunity? And so I would say the majority of the companies that we look at, they are good companies, but it's not venture backable because we want them to be really, really large. And then probably the third thing that is important to us is we like to know if there's founder market fit. So does the founder have a unique vision for why they're special in this industry? So they have a unique insight. Do they have data around what's going to drive their ability to compete in this market? Do they have some special skills around understanding who the customer is or who their distribution channels are, or how do they recruit? So we're really looking for some sort of special sauce between the founder and the market that they're pursuing.
You obviously have run 2 companies. You're working with a lot of founders, a lot of CEOs right now. What's something that you see where people struggle with? I mean, what's the one advice or one tip that you really give a new founder or a younger entrepreneur who hasn't been there and done that? What's the one tip that you would really give them to help them out in their career?
I'm a big fan of process and building sustainable processes. And I think one of the challenges for a first-time entrepreneur is that there's a lot of shiny objects. And so you get a new client that says, hey, I want to do this. And it's very, very different from what your business is. How do you turn that down because they're willing to give you revenue and so forth? So I would encourage a young founder to select a system. It doesn't matter what system it is. There's EOS, there's OKRs, there's Gazelles, there's lots of different processes. It doesn't matter which one, but they will give you discipline to be able to execute on a daily basis. I'm a big fan of building rhythm in business. So what does that rhythm look like? What's my key performance indicators? How often do I review those? Do I review those on Mondays with the management team so we can review what's happening in the business? What statistics do I collect? How do I build culture? But those are all things that you can actually systematize, which will help you stay disciplined and not get pulled into 30 different directions on things that aren't important. So it's almost like, how do I work on the business and not necessarily in the business?
I absolutely love it. In Measure and Hack, we actually focus on that, right? Systems and processes, and we call them vital numbers and cascading metrics. There's always cool things that you want to work on, right? And then it's like, oh, that idea is cool. This is an opportunity. But then again, it's just like, what's our goal? What's our vision? And how do we get there? And rhythm is the same thing.
That's right.
Great tips. Last thing, I want to kind of shift the focus on you and talk about kind of your story. You've sold 2 companies, amazing exit. What was it like when you sold your first company? Or maybe you can talk about either one. What's that feeling? Because that's what a lot of entrepreneurs want to get to. And, some of us are more lucky than others that have already gone there. What was that like?
Yeah, it's interesting. I would say my experience may differ from most, but I would say that a lot of times when you're actually building the business, you're so involved in the business that you don't really appreciate the journey. And then you're like, okay, well, once I sell the company, then I can actually enjoy the fruits of my labor. And looking back, I really enjoy the journey. And so if I don't enjoy the journey, then it gets really hard. And there is no kind of like, oh, once I sell the company, then I'm happy. So I think the one lesson learned for me is every day is an opportunity to grow. And it doesn't just end when I sell the company. And if I'm not happy before I sell the company, I'm not going to be happy after I sell the company. So be happy today, execute well. I would say celebrate success. Like, I don't need to wait till I sell the company to celebrate, right? Like if I get a new customer, let's go out and celebrate and enjoy the culture of building something really meaningful. So yeah, after I sold the company, I didn't go out and buy anything, or maybe I had a cake, but ultimately, I'm very happy with being able to build companies, surround myself with really interesting people, and delight our customers.
No, that's amazing. And just so everybody knows, because I see Ray and Ali, they were laughing a little bit. We didn't set this up. Like Andy didn't know about Measure and Hack. He doesn't know about Be Happy. No. But it's just so amazing because that's what we talk about on our channel. It's about like, being happy. That's the most important part. Like, what is success? Mm-hmm. What is financial freedom? It's about that being happy and being able to take care of ourselves, but people that we love.
That's right. That's right. And being happy it's not a destination. It really is whether or not you're truly happy today. That's the most important thing, and that will help you grow as you build your business. And so I've been very fortunate. That's how I live my life.
I love it. All right. Thank you so much for taking time. I know you're checking now. You're getting on a flight. Safe travels to Seattle, and I'll see you back in Taiwan later this year.
Fantastic. Thanks.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah.